Right there.
For BlackPressMagazine.com, I'm DC Livers. Man, this has been an incredible party. I mean, Linda Madison, y'all probably didn't know who she was, but after all these interviews, y'all be like, dang, how do I get on her client list? But I'm standing here with Mr. Six-Pack himself, and I'm touching it, lady, so it's real. Okay? Most of you know him as Onix on the I Love New York show, but the rest of us know him as Will. What's going on, Will?
How you doing, DC?
Man, how has your life changed since you've been on that show?
Well, I got people like you, big time press people who actually want to talk to me. That's a big change. But I guess the biggest change is actually just getting recognized, because you really don't realize how recognizable you are until you walk down the street and you got people calling out your name. That's out there,
It's not just girls, because I saw as we were walking over to this interview, I saw guys going, no, that ain't him, man. That ain't him. Y'all dog, that's him, dog, that's him.
You get a lot of dudes. I have a lot of dudes all the time. They'll come up to me and be like, hey, man, my girl watches the show. I'm like, yeah, your girl watches it. I know
what you mean
by
watch. Right.
I know you watch it.
So you got to meet the infamous Tiffany Pollard. What was that really like?
And that's the first question everybody asks. Well, is she really like that? Is she really that crazy? Does she really look like that? Is that her hair? But I look at it like a lot of the guys looked at it. There's two sides to Tiffany. There is a Tiffany that you got to know when it was, when it was low time, and the cameras aren't all in your face, and you actually get to talk and share some stories and stuff like that, And Tiffany is a cool girl, but New York, that's a crazy bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you, And hey, that's what she calls herself, the HBIC, So I no disrespect by that, but that's what she is. That's a character, and I think that for her though, she's more New York now than Tiffany. So, it's what you see is what you get.
Well, I'm sure being New York is a lot more profitable than it is to be Tiffany.
Definitely. And, I can't hate thanks to her. I got my little recognition, so,
I can't hate on her either, because she got to kiss Tango, and quiet as kept. Her brother kind of fine. What's it like? I know you guys are real good friends. What's it like being around him?
Tango's my boy. Actually, I just talked to him right before I walked in here. People thought we had a lot of beef on the show because of the way it went down and what it looked like, And, as far as our community, our people goes, he did look like a snitch on, the way they played it out. But we know how and why those things happen. It was my time to go. I was ready to go. He was willing to play that game. He was willing to take it to that level. He was willing to kiss on her. I wasn't. So, hey, I handed it off to Tango and let him do his thing, but I had to be out.
And Tango, you did your thing.
And I'm glad that he did win. I mean, I was, out of all the cats in the house, we were the most cool. We were the most similar, and and to this day, he always said from the day one when he left the house, he was like, I got you. It doesn't matter. From here on out. I mean, a lot of it, it might be a little guilt in there too, but at the same time, like I said, I mean, we were real with each other, and we clicked like that. So, and I think that we'll be cool till, to the end, from what I can see, but there was no beef.
I feel like I'm intertwined with him because, most people who are listening to this podcast discovered me through that interview with him, and he certainly changed my life. And within 48 hours, I was like, who the heck is this guy? Because my phones went crazy. My email was jammed. Our server went down. He is, Tango. And we've had some times to talk outside of interviews and stuff. And I really like the guy. I hope we can do some work together. So, Tango, I got nothing but love for you. I got nothing but love for you. Yeah, I would like to hook him up with Bucky.
Yeah, that may not be bad. I mean, I think I can't say she's not his type. There could be a connection there. There could be a love connection there. I mean, he likes that ghetto girl. Not saying, I'm not calling her ghetto, but he likes a real.
He said that. Nah, man.
I mean, he likes he likes a girl that can hold it down, and she seems like that kind of girl. She seems to have a good head on her shoulders. I don't know, check it out, you might see. But the thing about Tango though is Tango's he's an intellectual cat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he does this music thing, and he does he's out all his other adventures, but he's very philosophical, very thought provoking, and so when you think about a woman that can be a good fit for him, she kind of has to be able to flow with him in some way, and that's a part of the reason, honestly, in my opinion, like somebody like New York would never work with Tango.
But see, I've gotten to talk to both of them. I've got to meet them and hang out with them and talk, and I honestly, I don't do the whole reality world thing, but when I was talking to her, I was thinking about him because they have like-minded thoughts, and she's about her business, he's about his business. He's not going to be the type of guy that's just going to let somebody else control his career. He's definitely going to be hands-on, she's hands-on, yet he can be sensitive, as we saw on the show, and she can be soft when time comes down. So, I think we ought to, just on the quiet, without cameras rolling, we should try to facilitate a meeting.
Never know. Hey, I say go for it, What can it hurt?
It can't hurt nothing.
He might dump her on national television. He seems to have a habit of doing that.
Whew, okay, well, listen, what do you have going on? What are you doing here at this party?
And speaking of Tango, I mean, he's part of the reason, how I hooked up with Linda. She was doing some PR for him. And since I was local, we had that, we connected and, went to lunch once and talked. And she's sort of had some hand in doing some things for me on the, on the professional level, but at the same time, we became good friends too. So I'm here to celebrate her birthday and, have a good time. And at the same time, do some networking. I'm glad I got to finally meet you,
Yep, I'm sure it's underrated, And there, there's girls over there just waiting. They're like, DC, he gonna come over? Because I kind of hinted that you were gonna be in the building, and they've been eating real slow, trying to make sure they got a chance to see you. What's it like for you, really? I mean, I met your girlfriend. I mean,
okay, all right, you want to put it out there like that?
She certainly was not hard to look at.
You want to put it out there like that?
She was not hard to look at. But I know, and I asked her, I said, girl, how do you handle all this coming at you? Because instead of shaking your hand, I rubbed your six-pack. So how do you handle women, including journalists, that hit on you?
Well, the young lady that you see me with tonight, I mean, it's a fairly new kind of relationship. Actually, I knew her previously. And so she knows me. She doesn't know Onix. She knows Will. So, but she's, from the time that we spent together, and she knows any given day, any given time, walking down the street, I'm going to get pulled away. Somebody's going to yell my name. Somebody's, we've even had people yell out, you look a lot better than New York. I mean, anything. But she's cool with it, and I've talked to her about it, and she it gets a little, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but it's a little, different for her at times, and sometimes it gets, she hasn't quite gotten used to it yet, but she understands it, and she rolls with it.
Now, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, actually I do. I come from a separated family. I'm the only child of my mother and father's marriage, but both were separated and remarried. So I have total 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
They're hating on you right now.
Well, I mean, before I did the show, I didn't really tell a lot of my family. I only told one sister, and I let her tell everybody else. So, I went ahead, I went to Hollywood, and I let her spill the beans, and then I came back and I explained to everybody, all right, this is what happened, this is what I was, this was my strategy, this is what I went to do. And that they don't have to have any worries. I didn't embarrass myself. I left with my dignity and my integrity, and that at the end they wouldn't have anything to be ashamed of. I wasn't on there. I wasn't gonna go on there to to put a bad name.
What's up? This is Mr. Wise from I Love New York too, and you're listening to my interview on BlackPressRadio.com. Holla.